Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 9. Today we're going to be talking about the first photos that have come out from The Flash Season 9 Episode 1 set. This is up in Vancouver, they're currently filming right now. Lately we've seen Grant Gustin posting on Instagram about how this is the final season. Obviously this is the first time that he suited up for this shoot, which could be seen on his Instagram. But also we have some photos from Canada Graphs, so if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is coming from Canada Graphs and this is from his Patreon page. You guys can subscribe to his Patreon page and stay up to date with the latest behind the scenes photos from the Arrowverse shows in Vancouver. The link will be in the description below to his Patreon and his Twitter page. So for now, let's go ahead and get into today's breakdown of these new exclusive photos from Canada Graphs on The Flash Season 9 Episode 1. So as I said, they've been filming The Flash Season 9 Episode 1 this week. And obviously it's a big deal considering that they announced a while ago that The Flash Season 9 would be the final season of The Flash. And so people have been expecting big things from this new season, and I would say these photos that have been released by Canada Graphs actually showcase something rather big. So we're going to go ahead and break them down. So the most important photo of this all is this. Here we are in Central City. I don't know specifically where, but you have this photo right here of a new villain. And this villain at first glance doesn't look like a new villain because they look like Captain Boomerang, the Digger Harkness version of the character that we saw in The Flash in a couple of previous seasons. So this new version of the character that we're seeing is apparently an actor who was once in the 100. So you guys might recognize him, but honestly at first glance, I thought it was just Digger Harkness. I thought it was the same actor that played him in the Arrow Flash crossover and stuff like that in the past. But you can tell when closely looking at the photo, yes, it's a different person, he looks younger, and I have a couple of theories. Now, my first and main theory is this. I think that this could possibly be Digger Harkness's son. Now, that isn't anything too crazy because a lot of times in comic books, there is storylines like this where the father was a villain or the mother was a villain, and then their children would become villains and follow in their footsteps, similar to like how Bart and Nora follow in Barry's footsteps and become superheroes, or journalists like following in Iris's footsteps. So this is one of my theories. I feel like he could totally be from this earth and actually the son of Digger Harkness. Now, you guys will have to let me know, do you think that's possible? I definitely think it's a viable option about why there would be a different Captain Boomerang in this final season of The Flash. I've heard other theories going around that it could possibly be a Captain Boomerang from another Earth, and that's why he looks different, so he's not an exact doppelganger, but he is still Digger Harkness. That could totally be an option if they want to reintroduce the multiverse. However, considering this is the first episode, I don't know if they want to go fully into the multiverse, so that's why I'm not buying into the multiverse Captain Boomerang idea just as much as of right now, because I think they're probably not going to want to go that big right at the start of the season. Like, I can understand if they want to reintroduce the multiverse later in the season, but right at the start, we kind of need to get back into the season. So I feel like he's just going to randomly pop up and they're going to be like, what? Another Captain Boomerang? And if Cisco was there, he would make a joke. But nevertheless, there is also the option that this is someone that is not related to Digger Harkness at all, but was just inspired by him, and that's why he's become the new Captain Boomerang, and it's just another version of the character, but still from Barry's Earth and from Digger Harkness's Earth, so it isn't anything too cosmic or anything too crazy. It's just an admirer, just like how the Reverse Flash initially became powerful and got his powers because he wanted to be like the Flash, and so maybe this is an admirer of the original Captain Boomerang that we saw in the past. So yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know too much about what exactly is going on in the scene, apart from the fact that there is this huge kind of device in front of him, and then also in some earlier photos that Canada Graphs released on his blog, you can see it here. It's like some sort of big device, and it is really big. It's like over head height. It's like 8 foot tall or something, I would guess. and I guess it kind of looks like maybe something out of Doctor Who or something. I can't really tell, and it looks like it's in the middle of the street, so I am very confused as to what is going on. At first I thought it was just like a piece of equipment that Grant was kind of lying on, because that's not true, because this is like a proper prop, and you can see Captain Boomerang literally just staring at it, and he's like weirdly staring at it. So something is going on here, and it's definitely something that he's possibly been after in this episode. And I do have to point out what I just said before about like this being episode 1. So is he going to be just like a one-time villain? Is he going to be a villain of the week, or is he going to be a more prolonged villain? Well, my best guess right now is he would be a villain of the week, because otherwise I don't think they would just introduce him straight away. Normally how the Flash goes, or any of the Arrowverse shows, is they introduce and tease for a while, and then they will get to the main villain actually coming in. So my guess is he's just here for episode 1, and we're just seeing this because it's a cool character from the Flash comics, and it's the final season, so they want to get nostalgic with it, and they are. And so let's quickly talk about this new Captain Boomerang suit. It's actually really comic book accurate, his suit, because the cap is literally the same thing that you see in the comics. It has just, you know, well, it's not really a cap, but it's like a beanie hat, that's what I meant to say. And it's got the Boomerang logo on the front of it, just to signify that yes, he is Captain Boomerang, you're not mistaking Flash. And then in terms of his actual like costume, you can't really tell much apart from the fact that he's wearing the comic book accurate scarf that he does wear in the comics. I don't know in terms of his powers. Obviously we're not seeing any kind of, you know, effects here. This is just Canada Grass's photos, and I don't think we saw his boomerangs in any of these photos, so we'll have to wait and see as to that. And in terms of the costume he wears under, it looks like it's just pretty accurate to the comics in terms of the color scheme. I don't really know. I think he's just wearing like a shirt underneath. But yeah, this is really comic book accurate, and that's obviously very exciting for fans. Obviously when you first see it, you can definitely tell straight away that this is in fact a new version of Captain Boomerang, just because that, you know, this is clearly Captain Boomerang from the comics, but also is clearly a new actor. Okay, so one of the final photos that we have is the return of Iris and Barry back on screen together, which is obviously very exciting as we head into this final season of The Flash. And so Iris is holding that typical Star Labs gun that they use, and she's facing off with Barry against Captain Boomerang. So I'm wondering if somehow Iris is more linked to this Captain Boomerang guy that's showing up. I don't know why she would specifically be there. I guess Frost is kind of out of action, and same goes for Caitlin, because, you know, they're in that whole situation that was teased at the end of season 8. And in terms of other heroes, don't know why Allegra isn't here. Well, for some reason Iris is here with the gun, so obviously maybe Barry needed some backup, or Iris is more closely related to this case, and that's why she's shown up to help Barry. And so she's pointing the gun at Captain Boomerang as he does whatever he's doing. And again, we have no idea what he's doing. Like, really, it's very much so a mystery. And so once again, this is from the first set of The Flash season 9, so we're going to get lots more of this, and it's definitely going to go full on nostalgic in this final season, because we really have to get into the nitty gritty. And obviously we have lots of theories about what exactly could they dive back into the comics, how can they make it link back to season 1 of The Flash, how is it going to be a good ending. There is so much that can be explored, and it's very exciting to think about, although we only have 13 episodes. So yeah, these photos are very exciting. Canada Grass did a very good job getting them, and they definitely excite me for what's to come, and I'm sure they're very exciting to you guys as well. And so just before we end this video, I want to remind you guys that I'm actually running a crowdfunding campaign for a film that I'm going to be making very, very soon. Like I said in a previous video, I'm also a filmmaker alongside being a YouTuber, so if you want to help and support me, please be sure to go to the link in the description below to the crowdfunding campaign page and donate towards my film. It would really mean the most, and if you're UK or London based, I'm sure we can get you down when we actually film it in person, and you can be an extra in the film. How about that? That sounds pretty cool. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Really helps out the channel if you do that. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. But for now, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see room.